I didn't know that happened.
Because he was an investor. It was Edison Electric. Yes, J.P. Morgan was.
I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying thank you.
And what Tesla did, he was an apprentice under Edison, and there was, I forgot the two forms of electrical circuits. It's like AC and DC.
Yeah.
And
AC is way better.
Yeah, AC is the version that Tesla was a proponent of, and Edison was like, it's too dangerous. So he ended up going off on his own, and he got with Westinghouse, I believe.
Yeah.
He got with Westinghouse, and he told Westinghouse, I don't want to profit from this. I want to do this for the good of humanity. And as a result, they got the contract for the Chicago World Fair. They got the contract for the Niagara Falls Dam, and it changed. It literally changed the infrastructure system in not only the United States, but it belongs to Europe and continues on today,
around the world.
So
But I'm just saying, I don't think that how science and capitalism interact, I don't think that it's changed in that sense. I think it's changed in some other ways. I think like government obviously is much more involved in funding basic research for science than it was 100 years ago. But I think once the information and the innovation is there, I think it's always been that companies find a way to make more of the profit than the inventor does.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I'm just saying
they're profit machines.
But they're also the ones taking on the risk when they invest in that.
See, here's the scary thing. I'm telling you about corpocracy. Corporations, they really are like marvels of natural selection. I mean, think about it. Human beings rule the planet, but then what can we, we're single human beings, dude. Every species on this planet would be scared shitless of us for the most part. Mm-hmm. And we've driven plenty extinct, and we'll drive plenty more extinct. Just wait for tomorrow. But you still can't touch a corporation. You can't, even though they're legally considered a person. They obviously control the government, like, to a large degree, way more than you. They have way more influence with your elected representatives than you do. And yet, what can you do? You can't harm a corporation. There's nothing you can do. I mean, they're just they seem almost unstoppable.
Harm the corporation, you go to jail.
Exactly. They got it'll with your own money, your own tax dollars, or fund dudes to come in riot gear and.
So you want that power to
kick you out of your tent just for sitting in the damn park?
Yeah, and if they don't want to be, they could be very subversive about it and just kill you. They do shit all the time. It was a man in Nigeria. He was trying to stop an oil pipeline from being built.
They bomb them a lot over in Nigeria. Shell
hired some people to kill this man.
But Shell didn't do it directly.
No. There's always a third and a fourth party. Yeah. There's always plausible deniability.
I mean,
corporations are good, man. As I told you, these are marvels of natural selection, man. They're not going to get caught murdering somebody.
These people don't.
They're not amateurs.
These people don't clean up after themselves. I mean, you think they're going to do their own dirty work? Come on now. They don't even. Some of them don't wipe their.
They got somebody for that.
Yeah. I ain't making this up.
All right, so what do we do about plutocracy? Does history inform us on this a little bit? Because I mean, we know that we were able to subdue plutocracy for a while, and it made a comeback.
Anything like this?
The only way,
the Gilded Age, but
the only way you get around plutocracy is have the masses of people singing the same song.
Goddamn right.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
See, that's what it was, man. We had Sinatra and John Lennon, and now they're gone. So
what song should we sing?
That is the question. There's so many different types of music out here, and nobody wants to listen to something.
Nobody can agree these days. That's the whole problem.
And that's the problem.
But seriously, I mean, I mentioned plutocracy was so bad we fought a war literally because of plutocracy. But then, I mean, didn't that just happen again here lately?
That's what every war is fought over plutocracy.
It's just as bad as it's ever been. It's Scott saying that. He's got some evidence to back
I'm saying it's worse. I'm saying we're surrounded by corporations. I mean, everything you look at is my Guy Fawkes mask is trademarked by Time Warner. I'm sitting in my Apple computer charging.
Oh man,
You got
charging Bridgemont's BlackBerry. Like, dude, we can't. And I mean, it's just that it's so pervasive in life now. Just in modern life, corporations and corporate products and corporate services are so pervasive, and they've just multiplied. And technology, with the exponential expansion and increase of technology and progress, you get exponential.
I mean, the problem though is how they influence our politics, how they buy out politicians. Right?
I don't think that's the only problem.
And they shape they shape public opinion. That's the biggest deal.
Joey, for a second, let's go beyond plutocracy and corpocracy, and let's talk about capitalism in general.
Okay.
Because, like I was saying earlier, modern capitalism is basically, its default mode is to is for perpetual increasing, perpetual growth.
Mm-hmm.
But where we're gonna run out of shit.
True capitalism.
We live on a ball, dude. A little ball with like a real thin atmosphere.
True capitalism.
Where does that factor into capitalism? I mean, I want you guys to say about true capitalism.
True capitalism promotes competition.
But no, because Scott asked a good question.
I want something in direct response to that.
Most economic growth, and I say this because I study economics at Georgia State University. Most economic growth does not come from us using more of the world's materials, more of the Earth's materials. Most economic growth comes from designing things better with the materials we already have.
I think is the modern lie. I think that's the little glossy veneer you cover with. So
that's not just a philosophy. That's an empirical fact.
How?
Because we're able to measure where we get economic growth from. Most economic growth comes from, for instance, the computer you're using right now it's not using more of the Earth's material than a computer 10 years ago, but it's designed better.
I know, but I'm going to need another one in 2 years. Apple made sure of that.
Yeah, that will be designed even better than that.
Goddamn landfill.
Okay, so yeah, we need to do a better job at recycling these things.
This is why we're mining places in Africa.
I don't feel like that's a good argument against
and then
capitalism.
Cheaply manufacturing them by suicidal workers in China.
Right. The problem that the Scott's trying to identify.
I mean, what I'm saying is there are no brakes on capitalism. Like
capitalism doesn't necessitate not recycling.
It doesn't necessitate it, but it doesn't enable it. Like we need a system
that's where the government should get involved.
It can, but it
make money recycling.
There's none of this like possibility. Like we need like climate change. We need to deal with climate change.
That's because of that's not capitalism's fault. That's plutocracy fault.
Yeah.
Because the people who have all the capital at this time are invested into a certain form of energy, and they're taking a risk by investing into another form of energy. It's going to make them, but they're taking a greater risk in the long term once we reach peak energy. And,
but anyway, no matter what you want, even just coming down to food, I mean, theoretically, we could come up with technological innovation to feed, way more people. But theoretically, like, so what if we get those people before we realistically can do that? Like, what if we literally don't have the food to feed the people we have on the planet?
We do it now. We have enough food to feed 12 billion people. We produce that much food. But
and we waste half of it.
Yeah, we waste half of it. I work in the hotel hospitality industry.
How many people do you think will be on this planet by the time we die, though? I mean, if we were thinking about right now, we're thinking the short term, the next 10 years, like, okay, that's what every generation has done. That's why shit's all fucked up. I mean, that's why our atmosphere is all messed up. That's why our shit's all polluted. That's why we got leaking pipelines, fucking 12 a week all over our country, dude. Leaking in the suburbs. You guys see that?
Yeah, we see it.
Listen, man. Monsanto is coming out with these great technologies. We're going to be able to grow even more than what we're growing right now.
And that's the thing. That's the lie. Like that's even everyone buys that. But honest, like I've looked at studies of it, and it doesn't feed as many people as
for genetically modifying plants. We actually can grow more than what we've grown in the past. Not that I think everything Monsanto does is good, but with GMO we are able.
But
to
eventually, but no. All I'm saying is, will you? All right, no, hold on. Will you accept that there is a limit to the amount that we can consume and produce? based on the physical limitations of the
yeah,
planet and its resources.
Based
the
on
laws of
physical
physics you take
capital,
out.
All right,
but not how you design that capital.
Now, where in does capitalism take that into account? How will that ever be taken into account by capitalism in itself?
Because capitalism is how you deal with scarcity, and if we reach that point of scarcity, then we will no longer be able to grow because of more capital, but we'll still be growing more because of how we design that capital. For instance, how your computer is better designed than the one you would have owned 2 years ago.
See, this is the scary. This is how corporations think. This is how they
also
think.
How
they're like
economists think.
Exactly.
Who are the experts of the economy? I mean, come on.
Exactly. This is what scares me. This is why I'm saying we're in such a terrifying situation right here, because this is all very logical. And like, yeah, I mean, if you're completely profit driven and all you think about is consumption and production, like, yeah, this is all super logical. But if you're like, hey, is our planet going to be habitable, in 150 years? Where does that? You're not taking that into account, dude. You're not taking any other value other than cash money into account.
But you can't. They don't have to be separate issues. They can have a symbiotic relationship. If you want to expand capitalism and you also want to expand the health of our planet, at the same time, why don't we invest into?
But because things are naturally going to be profitable, and what's naturally profitable, like right now, is oil. I mean, what's naturally profitable is blocking out every other form of energy production.
That's short-term profits.
But that's all anyone cares about. That's what the market is driven by, short-term profits. Everybody wants short-term profits. Wall Street, corporations, everyone's looking to the next quarter, 3 months down the road. That's what everybody looks down, 3 months block. And then, what does Congress run on? Like,
and that's why,
2 years.
And that's why we don't have people becoming
president runs on 4 years. 4 years in the big picture, like that's one of the problems too, is like how they are thinking about short-term profits. So they're not looking 10 years down the road, 20 years down, 100 years down the road. They're looking
but a lot of them are. If you look at what the things that Barack Obama is doing right now, like what? He's for instance
Keystone
Pipeline.
Not just that. Okay, go back to Obamacare. Obamacare is provisions in there that span decades that don't go into effect from 5-10 years. So it's not like it's 4 years, but you do things like, for instance.
Yeah, but a lot of the time when they do that, it's also games to fudge the numbers and make things look like they're like, oh, we'll raise taxes 20 years down the road. It'll be all theoretical, and they'll never end up doing it.
But you want also have
so that way when they pass it, they can claim that it'll pay for itself or whatever. It'll be revenue neutral or whatever.
But a lot of that was also just that there's so many changes they didn't want them all happening.
There's
at once,
that too.
So they
put
them.
I won't deny that, but I'm just saying that sometimes it's all that's used for political reasons.
No, but here's the thing. A market economy needs an active government that will make rules and that will fund areas that capitalism isn't going to fund. Right? So, the problem isn't having a market economy. The problem is what kind of government are you going to have with that market economy?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Twinkle fingers.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right. Now I want to bring up something that I totally forgot about until a little bit ago. It's the Citigroup Plutocracy memos from 2005, 2006. You guys remember those?
Vaguely.
No, I don't.
You guys don't? All right. Well,
inform us.
There were some memos that were leaked that, honestly, I didn't think they were true for years. This is why I never thought about them. Like, they come off as, like, sarcastic. They come off as satirical almost. There's just a weird tone to them. But I thought it was like a Yes Men thing or something. But apparently they're real, and Citigroup has been like pulling them offline all over. It was hard for me to finally find some PDFs of them online, which is weird. Like I looked at a bunch of sites and they'd been pulled. The people said they went to their hosts and just told them to pull it. So Citigroup doesn't want this online. They were doing see, here's the thing. This is really interesting. One of the most interesting things I've found in these memos is basically they're talking about, there's a financial advisor guy talking about Plutocracy, and which is basically what he says runs the world now. And the main plutonimies around the world, they say, are the U.S., the U.K., Canada, and Australia. So right there, Citigroup
the four
thinks we are
English
plutonymy. No, they said that the four I mean, we're the
But they're
Ford-
also for English speaking, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
That's kind of. I just think it's kind of odd.
Well, it's.
Is there a correlation between the English language and?
There's a direct correlation between
I would
the
say
English
yeah.
empire and plutocracy, and modern plutocracy.
I would say definitely.
You can correlate the.
Well, yeah,
British
in
empire and
America, English is the that's
Well,
what we speak
yeah,
in
'cause
America. In America, we're the ones who
started
export
in
more.
England.
In
We
England,
The
yeah,
Industrial
that's
Revolution
right.
started in England.
That's right, right there in London.